Hello, everyone across the country. This is March 7th, 2016, our first Mastermind call of the new year, and this is call number 56. So we've been doing this for better than a year right now. Appreciate y'all showing up today. We were commenting before I turned the recording on how active it has been between Christmas and New Year's, and even this year. It seems like you guys got your goals set and you're getting to work, and we've got a tremendous turnout for the call today. So I really appreciate y'all showing up. I know we have a lot of people on the call for the first time. Just so you know, we do this call every week, same time, same place. You are all muted out, but we really very much want participation. We all know each other, and we don't want to hear each other talk. We want your questions, your comments. We want to help you with whatever you need help with. And there's no question that's dumb. We find on these calls a lot of times the new agents come on these calls, they get successful, they start making money, and they don't always come back, or they don't come back frequently. So any question you might have today or anything you're dealing with, I promise you there's somebody else on the call that's going through the same thing. So if you do have a question or a comment, hit *6 and then hit the number 1. And you can do that at any time. You'll get put in the queue, and then I'll just take you guys in the order that you sign up. Hit *6 and 1, and we have somebody already. Thank you. Tim, anything you want to share with the group before we go to our callers?
No, just that we certainly had a great year last year. We look forward to this year being even better. We're doing a lot of new things, so we've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming in the next quarter, and we're glad you're with us. And if you haven't joined and gotten your first set yet, we welcome you to get going with it and join the other people who are being successful. Thank you for being here.
Excellent. And as far as the success stories, guys, the best place to kind of see what other agents are doing other than to come on these calls is go to our website, alltheleads.com. Go to the very bottom of the site, and there's probably 24 stories there of agents. And we did a role-play call yesterday, which we do once a month, and I thought it was kind of interesting that possibly it's the agents that show up for these calls are the newer people, but some of our biggest success stories have been from people that really had a call reluctance to actually get on the phone. Like Roger and Bud, they shared some great stories with us, and they're posted on the website. Chad, just take a few minutes, if you would. There was a lot of these people were not on the call yesterday, and there was a couple little items that you mentioned that I think it's always worth telling them, the new agents, where to find the training materials, what they should start with, and especially that checklist that you mentioned yesterday. Would you recap that real quickly for the agents that weren't on yesterday's call?
Yeah, sure. And for anyone who didn't make the call or anybody that wants to listen to the replay, it is posted in our closed Facebook group. To find that group, you can simply go to Facebook, type in All the Leads Mastermind, and request access, and we'll let you in. And once you're in there, all the past 55 of these calls are archived with a kind of a summary paragraph of what was discussed. And then the last 5 role play calls are also in there. You can use the search bar in the top right, just type in the word role play, the words role play or mastermind, and to kind of bring, to narrow the results. And they're in MP3 format. You can throw them on your phone, listen to them on your commute, or, when over lunch break or whatever. So just know that all the calls that we do will be archived there on the Facebook page for now, because that seems to be the place people interact with them most. What we talked about on the role play call yesterday was, a lot of people who are just getting on the phones, they don't know where to start. For people who sign up, as soon as you get your password, you should go to subscriber resources at alltheleads.com, and in there you'll see that we've got the entire system broken down into 5 steps. And you can go, you could literally go through it in 10 minutes, or you could spend 10 hours probably, depending on your learning style and how deep of a dive you want to take into this. And it's designed to work for everybody. But one of the things we discussed was in step 5, there's a couple of role plays in there, one with me as the agent and one with my listing agent as the agent when he was being trained. They're about 15 minutes long. people often ask me for scripts. I don't like scripts personally. I think they create bad habits. I do like a framework though, and I think role playing is the best way to do that. So those 2 role plays are there. The other thing that I encourage everybody to do is print off. There's a sheet in there that I made that follows the progression that I teach in probate mastery and what I use in my own business. It's called the Probate Seller Interview Sheet, and it's from top to bottom. It's kind of a progressive roadmap through the initial conversation to help you ask the right questions in the right order in order to get the information you're looking for. And that's a result of hundreds of both successful and failed conversations, appointments, and successful closed listings. So if you haven't looked at those resources, just kind of skip through to step 5 today and take a look at that probate seller interview sheet while you're listening to the role plays and kind of think about, okay, and I'm not saying that that's the absolute progression of the conversation. I left it in Excel format so you can move things around, you can delete what you don't like, add what you think is missing, and I encourage you to do that because no 2 salespeople's process is ever going to look the same. And that's why I don't like scripting. You've got to make it fit your personality and your business style, and we try to leave it in a format where we make that easy for you.
Excellent. And I would say the same thing with the letters that are there in the subscriber resource area. Don't get bogged down, and obviously there's been a lot of thought and a lot of testing that go into the letters. The essence of all the letters is to give people options and to give them good options, and then no matter what decision they make, you're going to be the one that helps them implement that option. But don't get bogged down and don't take those letters and copy them word for word. Download them, like Chad just said with the scripts. Modify the letters. Obviously add your own testimonial, your own information. Modify them and make them your own. It's going to come across a lot better to the client. Oh, that's one of my partners. Should I? There you go. Thank you. I was going to mute you out. All right. So we do have a question. Go ahead.
Jim, real
comment?
quick before we go on, kind of on the same note. So something I wanted to bring up today. We've had, in the last 24 hours, I've had several conversations about voicemail messages and what should I leave on call number 1 versus 2 versus 3. Personally, I've used that same, the voicemail recording that you'll find in subscriber resources. It's just a really simple, hey, this is Chad. I sent you a letter last week. Wanted to make sure you received it and you understood why we sent it. Give me a call when you have a chance. I've had the best response off of that. I just sent it each time, behind each letter. That was the voicemail. I worked with a gentleman in San Diego last night, and we have changed his letter where we've added dozens of probate client testimonials, and he's getting a lot of competition from investors. So we've changed his message to, hi, this is Don. I sent you a letter last week. It's easy to know which one it is because it was the one with the dozens of past client testimonials. Just wanted to make sure you got that and you understood why we sent it. Grab that letter and give me a call when you have a chance. 555-1234. So just like what we said with, if it's the seller interview sheet or your letters, your voicemails, don't be afraid to inject your own personality into these things. And, that message worked really great for me, and it worked in Virginia. It hasn't done so well in Phoenix, Arizona, or San Diego. And that's just 2 examples of where I've given people ideas and worked with them to really bring their own personality into the message and their own kind of business core values into that to increase their response. So, any time that you're doing this, be thinking of, what unique piece can I bring to this? What can I say? What can I do in my letter that's going to make me differentiate me and make me different? And should I reference that in the phone call? And don't ever be afraid to test things. If you want to have, and that's how I started. I bet I went through 15 different phone messages before I found the one that worked for me. So don't be afraid to step out and try new things, because you just never know when you're going to be like Roger and uncover an $8 million listing. So just don't be afraid to personalize that stuff.
Amen. And we're going to turn it over to our questioner. Please, guys, we need some more. *6 and then 1. I just one more follow up on what you said, Chad. I get questions all the time. How your letters all seem to be heavy on referencing investors, and again, guys, that's because what we've heard from you and what we found in our testing is there are a lot of markets where these people hear from no one, but almost across the board, if there is competition, it's from investors. In Florida and California, they get a dozen letters from investors. So you may as well acknowledge that. Let them know, hey, probably heard from an investor. I have one too, but why not try to get more for the property? And the good news is anytime during the listing period, the investor offer would still be on the table. So the letters are designed to sell against what competition you do have, if you have any. And that's why we reference it. And if you guys can't find an investor, let us know. We'll tell you how to find one. All right. Well, thank you for your patience, area code 904. Please, guys, more questions. You're going to hit *6, and then you're going to hit 1 if you have a question or you want to make a comment. And I'm going to open it up for our first comment or question. Area code 904. Thanks for your patience. You're up.
Hi, this is Doug.
Hey, Doug.
I'm been a subscriber to your service for several months, and I enjoy the phone calls very much. However, I must admit that I'm getting so many leads from other sources. I have not had a lot of time to really dive into it and get started with it. I know that you have a service that you provide where your company sends out the first letter to the personal representative or the whoever, and I'd really like to know a little bit more about that, how it works and so forth.
Sure, Tim, you want to cover that since that's your division? You there, Tim? Maybe he's muted out, but
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yeah, I was muted in case I played another musical serenade from my cell phone. I thought I'd mute myself. It's real simple. You get the leads, we deliver them to you, let you know that they're online and available for you. At that point, if you want those letters to go out, you simply let us know that. You pick from any of the letters that are available on our site to use as a base, or send us a letter that you'd rather send out, whatever that is, and we'll do whatever's necessary to put that out in a direct mail format for you with a sure to be opened handwritten font on the outside. They're mailed in a greeting card size envelope. You get to pick the fit and finish and all of that. We send you proofs of everything before they go out, and it goes out to your list. The next step in that process is that you need to have a solid process in place to call those people as well, and follow up immediately upon those letters going out after they've had a chance to hit.
Hello?
Tim, did we lose you, Tim? You there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You were done. Go ahead, Chad. You had a comment?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he was cut off. I couldn't hear him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so too. The end of you got cut off there, Tim. Does that pretty well answer your question? It's relatively easy to order them. There's a link on the website. It's called Mailbox Motivator, and if you have specific questions about how it works or if you need help with it, I always want to make sure I mention this on every call. There's 4 partners and we have employees. The best way to get help with anything you need is to send an email to support@alltheleads.com. So if you go on there and you're tooling around with the Mailbox Motivator, you can't figure out how to make it work, send an email, support@alltheleads.com, and be as specific as possible as far as what you need help with. Our average response time on those inquiries via email is less than 15 minutes. Somebody will normally call you back right away and help you with whatever you need help with.
Okay, great.
Do you have a follow-up to that, or does that answer your question?
No, that pretty much gives me the information I needed.
Okay,
And
great.
one other thing I'd add is that to what Jim said earlier about not wanting to kill yourself on the letters, it's pretty simple. If you choose a letter that you like from what we've given you and you want to change any of the content, it's easy. It's a Word document. And if you want to upload your letterhead, you want to upload a logo or anything like that, we'll work with you to get that into a highly professional document that's pretty much guaranteed to be open when it hits their desk. So you don't have to beat yourself up to do it. We'll help you, and we always look at the finished product, and you get the final proof before it goes out anyway.
Okay, great.
So just
Doug,
motivator on our site, and rock and roll, and get your counties and get them out. And the sooner the better. I mean, it's not. You need. If you haven't had time to do it, let's take advantage of what you have.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you. More questions, please. We have no one else. This is the biggest turnout for a call, and I suspect we have a lot of guests and we have a lot of new people, but somebody else must have a question, a place you're getting stuck.
How about asking if anyone would like to talk about what their biggest concern or fear might be? We frequently hear people are concerned with getting negative responses when they make phone calls to follow up because of potential bereavement of people and things like that. That's always something that comes up, and that's probably something worth talking about if you think a lot of these folks are relatively new to the section.
Yeah,
Jim.
Go ahead, please.
We have a relatively new subscriber in the Seattle, Washington area, and he was on a call that we had on Tuesday, and he commented that he was pleasantly surprised how grateful people were to hear from him. And I think that there was an underlying concern there that it might have been the opposite of that. A lot of people think that. They think, well, that they're going to think I'm an ambulance chaser or whatever. We hear that a lot. And I'll tell you, if you're coming from the right place, you're never going to, I'm not going to say never. You will rarely ever hear that. If you design this the way we teach and you provide the amount of value and the amount of options that we recommend, people truly are, they're the most grateful and pleasant clients you'll ever work with. But that's just one recent that I've heard, this week from an agent that said, oh my gosh, I've never been thanked so much.
Yeah, we've heard that so many times. That in a good mindset, just remember that typically you're reaching out to somebody in another part of the country. It's usually one of a handful of family members, and the person you're calling is probably just getting an equal share of the proceeds, but they're responsible to their siblings or their other family members to get this done. So it's really just the opposite of what people fear. For the most part, they're very grateful to hear from someone that can help them. And thank you, guys. We have 3 questions in the queue, so I'm going to open it up. I know the first one is a prospective client, so I'm going to open you up. Area code 813. You are up. Thank you for asking a question or for contributing. Go ahead. 813-321 phone number. Can you hear me? Hello?
I don't think they're there, bud.
It says Mindy Lance. Mindy Lance? All right. I'm gonna put you on mute. I'm gonna go to the next one. 813-321 area code. Last chance. Okay. All right. 919 area code. You're up.
Hey, this is Christina McCaffrey. I have 2 questions. First, I'm new, and I'm trying to get on to Facebook to look at the group, and I'm still pending. So can you accept me? And then the second thing is, when you go through the leads, do you rule out for, if it's one spouse, if one spouse is still living in the home?
Chad?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just accepting your Facebook.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you.
You're accepted.
So are you saying, do you reach out if there's a surviving spouse?
Yeah. Do you is there a way to know if there's a surviving spouse that's still in the home?
Well, once you have done this for a bit, you'll start to see a picture in the spreadsheet, and it just looks like a bunch of cells when you get your first one.
Yeah.
But when you see the deceased last known address, and that matches the executor's address, and their last name matches the executor's last name, oftentimes that's a spouse.
Right.
I never hesitate to mark it to them. It can be a more sensitive situation, but I've worked with a lot of folks who absolutely positively want to sell as fast as possible because they have no interest in living in a home without their partner. And they have no idea where to start. They don't know what to do with the personal property. They had never thought of these things.
Right.
And those people honestly need your help more than most. You know, a son or a daughter, it's a different thing. So I don't ever hesitate because I know I'm coming from the right place. And I know that spouse is better off with my help than without it.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Excellent. Good question. We have another questioner in the queue, and the one we lost there, please hit *6 and come on back in, and we'll put you up next. Area code 713, you're up.
Yeah, this is Adam. I'm just looking at your program right now, and my question is, I appreciate that you guys offer those professional letters and everything, and I'm sure that's successful. But are the letters absolutely necessary? Can you just call them directly and work it that way, or I'm just wondering if the letters are necessary.
Well, it's just like any.
Go ahead, Chad.
It's just like any marketing campaign. I mean, the more ways you touch people and the more repetitions you have, the more likely you are to get a sale. We know that in market studies, I mean, it's a known fact that 80% of sales or 83% of sales happen between touch 7 and touch 12. So the more times you touch them, the better. And it might not make sense, like it would with a FSBO or an expired, to call the same person with the same message 12 times. So what we try to do is diversify your effort across a 3-month period using direct mail, phone calls, and then you can supplement it with, if you want to make more phone calls than send mail, that's fine. Now, I will say we've got people who have tried not sending mail at all, and they've listed homes. They just make phone calls. We have people who only send one letter one time and forget about it, and they're greatly successful. So I'm not saying that it won't work, but why we teach direct mail in tandem with telephone marketing is because that's what's gotten the best results everywhere.
Right.
And Adam,
so it's not necessary,
well,
but it is beneficial.
Two things you'll miss out on, Adam, if you don't do the mail. No matter how hard we try, we have a phenomenal success rate with getting phone numbers, but we don't get 100% of them. So.
Oh, okay, I see.
So
a lot of times you just have an address, then, is what you're saying.
Well, no, we give you multiple phone numbers, but our agents tell us when they call all the phone numbers, somewhere around 80% of the time they're able to reach the people. People move around, they change their numbers constantly. No matter how hard we try, there's going to be a percentage of those leads where we just can't get a good phone number. So you're going to miss out on that segment. And probably as or more important, my own experience, I've had a number of people that put my letter away and called me a year later. They're not going to save your voicemail that long, or they're not going to save your.
Yeah,
they're going to lose your phone number. So
yeah, I'm not beating up the letter concept at all. I understand it. I just wondered if it was necessary. So
my own opinion: send at least one letter, and then if you want to make more calls than letters, that's great. But I would send at least one. It's worth the postage to get the complete coverage of all your leads.
And it's a lot different than a typical direct mail campaign, Adam, because if we've all heard stories of realtors who have gone broke trying to support a farming campaign, and this is direct marketing. So we know a lot of things about the person we're sending the mail to. So your response rate is much better, and it takes a lot less frequency. So you don't have to send 15 postcards. Even if you just send one letter and then reference that in 3 or 4 voicemails, you're going to be successful.
Right.
It's just the more you do, really.
I got you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Our caller that disappeared before is back. Area code 813. Are you there?
So, actually, my name is Paul Majolet. I don't know where the name Mindy comes from, but I'm actually looking to join, and I'm just doing some research on all this now. Just a couple of quick questions. Number one, I know you guys are national, and which is great, and I think the concept is fabulous. But my question is, let's say that I wanted to focus on San Francisco. Are are we looking at several people that, joining your group that are also looking at the same area, so we're in a way kind of competing against others with the same thing here?
And to answer your question, yes, the leads aren't exclusive. There may be, most of our markets right now, we only have one subscriber, but there may be eventually be several. And the way I always answer that, and by the way, Adam, your caller ID says Mindy Lance. That must be the person who owns the phone line or something. So I knew that wasn't your name. But what I always say when people ask me that, it's still a lot better than FSBOs or expireds where you've got 100 people calling them. So with FSBOs and expireds, they may or may not want to sell, and you've got 100 agents calling them. With this product, you pretty much know that they do want to sell 90-some% of the time, and at worst, you're gonna have a couple other people calling them. And I mean, we have some markets in California that aren't getting that many leads, and we've got 3 subscribers, and they're all doing well. So
okay. And secondly,
did you want to add that, Ted? Go ahead.
Yeah, Paul, are you in San Francisco?
I'm in San Jose, and I'm looking at Santa Clara, San Mateo, and San Francisco areas.
Yeah, just one example. I mean, we have people in Northern California that are in counties with as little as 15 leads per month, and we've got 2 top producing agents in one county, and they know each other. They know that the other they each specialize in probate, and they're both killing it. I mean, that the one that's been with us the longest, he probably in 5 months he's probably netted close to $250,000 in a county where he has direct competition and only 15 leads a month. So just like with anything else, it's mindset. You're never going to get all the business, and believe me, like this is not something, we don't want to go sell these leads to 100 people, but we do want to serve as many people as we can. But it's just it's kind of an extreme example of, with 15 leads a month, you can still pull 6 listings, and so can the other person. It's all about having a valuable offer,
All right, we got
2 more parts
question.
to this.
Did you have a follow-up, Paul? Go ahead.
Would it be odd or unacceptable to go to the houses and knock on the doors?
Well,
actually.
Go ahead.
When we first started, about a year ago, when we were first ramping up, there was one of our subscribers in Northern California that instead of making phone calls and mailing, he decided that, hey, I've only got 15 or 20. I'm gonna go door knocking, and it was actually well received. He changed the letter so it could be used as a leave behind, like just put it in the mailbox, or it could be used as a handout while he was standing there talking to the executor, and he had good success with it. So, and that's one of the things we teach in Probate Mastery. It's, you don't have to go door knocking, but if you're comfortable with that, it's a great supplement. So you can send a letter, make the phone calls, and drop by the next day. And I mean, the more effort you make, the better your results are going to be.
That's assuming that the executor is local, and a large majority of the time they aren't. The executors are typically not local, but if you notice that they are local and you want to go by the house, sure, and you're comfortable doing that.
And I haven't joined yet, so I don't know how these leads look. I know it's probably on an Excel spreadsheet with a bunch of columns or cells, but it sounds.
We show you an example of it on the website. You don't have to be a member to see what's in it. We actually display the exact data that we send you and the format in which we send it to you on the website itself. You don't have to be a member to see that. We're trying to be very transparent about that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
So obviously, common sense, you can look at it and say, oh, that must be that's the phone number of the executor, and so it's very easy to navigate and understand what that's all saying. Is that right?
Yeah, every column has a header, and it's well named, and they're easy to understand. We give you the any docket information that would normally come there. We give you the name of the personal representative, the executor or executrix in that case, and their contact information, which would be as much as we can get, which would be an address and telephone information. We also give you the name of the decedent And if there's a last known address, we give you that as well. And then we give you the name of an attorney if there is one, and contact information if available on the attorney. But the main thing that we always have to be able to give you without fail is the name of the decedent and the name of the personal representative and their contact information. Without that, it's not value. It doesn't have any value. So we're very certain that we always provide that data.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more questions, and we got about 5 minutes. We try to keep these at 30 minutes, guys. We're probably going to go just a little bit long today. Thank you for your participation. So let me go to area code 412. You're up.
Hey, David in Pittsburgh.
Hey,
How
David.
are you?
Great. How about you?
Good. Let's see. First question is, what this program is for realtors primarily. I guess, isn't there other parts to, I think we were talking about an auctioneer, a cleanup crew, a repair crew, those kinds of things. So is that how this is, or am I talking about something different?
That's part of, Chad will answer that, but that's part of your team that you want to put together to provide maximum value to the heirs.
Uh-huh. I
So,
got you.
Go ahead, Chad.
really, what this is, yes. And I would venture to say pretty much everybody on the call is a real estate professional. And
Gotcha.
what we teach, what we teach is how to surround yourself with key vendors and key relationships, even your own clients, like cash buyers, for example, to be able to provide the most value to a specific situation, inheriting real estate. So we are, our clients are real estate agents, but we teach you guys to surround yourself with people who can support you and support the executor.
So is that team building stuff on the website? Or, you know what I mean? Hello?
Chad?
Yeah.
He asked where to find the team building stuff on the website. It's in the
yeah. So when you first sign up, you'll see what we call fast track training and subscriber research. And that's at the beginning of the call I mentioned we've broken it down into 5 steps. And it's probably an hour or so of information of, kind of best practices to get started. And we take a much deeper dive on all those things and Probate Mastery, which is a monthly course that we teach. But watching those fast track videos, I think will give you a lot of clarity on how the system really works and what best practices are.
And that all comes with the system.
It does, yeah. So
yes,
we give you everything you could possibly need. We do provide ancillary, things with training and websites, and that's something that not everybody wants. So we don't roll all that into the price. So if you want to earn your certified probate expert certificate, or have us do your direct mail, or have us host, build and host your website, those are things that you can buy, from us kind of a la carte. But we give you everything you need to be successful in sales and marketing to the leads that we provide.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. One more question, and we'll wrap it up for today. I really appreciate you guys participating. Area code 919, you're up.
Hey, it's Christina McCaffrey again from Raleigh area. I wanted to ask just a quick question about how effective marketing to the attorneys has been. I know you have a letter to the attorneys, and I just wanted to see if you're getting feedback from people regarding that.
Yeah, and Chad, I'll let you close the call out with a detailed answer, but my favorite story, Christina, is Paul Hayhurst up in Central Florida. His first month, I believe he got 5 listings his first month, and he noticed that 2 or 3 of them were the same attorney. So we always recommend reach out to the executor first, get the property listed, but then by all means call and introduce yourself to the attorney. So Paul called the attorney. Hey, this is Paul. I noticed you specialize in probate. So do I, and I've several of your clients have listed their property with me. And he called him several times. He kept in touch with him. After the last deal closed, the attorney called him back, and last I spoke to Paul, the attorney is giving him deals on a regular basis now before they hit the courthouse.
Wow.
So it's what I would recommend. The reason I say don't call the attorney first, because you don't need his permission. Call the executor first.
Right.
get it listed. And another thing, Christina, you'll notice if you have 100 probate leads, when you go down the attorney column, you're probably going to notice a dozen attorneys at most that are doing them. So identify them as the players, and those are the ones that you want to go after. It's a harder relationship to build. It takes longer, but it can pay off hugely if you keep after them.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Chad, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just as far as what everybody else is doing, I'll say that not enough of our clients do reach out to the attorneys, in my opinion. And what we've seen is the ones that do are successful. And you're not gonna, if you market to 20 attorneys, you're not gonna do business with all 20 of them that month. But if you just get one at a time, and if you systemize your marketing so they consistently see that you're the Raleigh area probate expert, and you kind of build that brand, all it takes is one or two of those relationships to skyrocket, your referral business and probate. So that's the people who have been most successful are the ones that actually did something. A lot of people consider it and say, well, I'll do that when I get around to it, and it just kind of falls through the cracks. So it's definitely worth doing. And what Jim said is, kind of condense it down to who are the top, who are the people who keep showing up, and probate's probably a big pillar in their business, and that's a good common ground to start the conversation with.
Hey guys, thank you so much. We ran a bit over on this call. I really appreciate your patience. I always end these calls by saying take one idea, one thought, one technique that you learned on this call, go out and put it into practice, and come back next week and share your success with the group. You guys know where we are, all the leads, support at alltheleads.com if you need us before the next call. And make this a great week. Make 2016 the year that you help a record number of people in your market get these estates sold and move on with their lives. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you coming. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Thursday.